Burning Crusade Classic Phase 3 is live. It's the version of Classic that I probably wanted to play the most, and real life conspired to say, no, you don't get to do that. Fuck you. So there you go. It's big Illidan, Black Temple, you know, Nether Dragons. There you go, some fun high-gel shots. Neat. So yeah, you can do Black Temple, and you can do Hagel Summit.
Yep.
And now I seemingly know that there's a new Channel 5 video that I'm probably going to have to watch, so that's good news. Oh look, there's us!
No, that's us. Yeah, okay, that's...
Wow.
Yeah. Hang on, if you click that, then can we just leave and it'll play that?
Yeah, it'll be like a feedback loop. Perfect.
Yeah.
Right, so Phase 3, I'll just do it quick, because I don't think a massive amount of the Classic audience are with us.
If they are, I'd be surprised.
So, look, High-Gel Raid, Black Temple, PvP Season 3, Incubus, Warlock, Minion, Netherring Daily Quests, Epic Gems, and additional class set tokens from Serpent Shrine and Tempest Keep.
Cool.
Then, we have Wenlo, the River's Edge.
Yep.
6-month subscription time, motherfuckers.
One of the nicest mounts I think they've ever made.
Very nice mount.
I really wish they would stop this. Like, literally once. Just once go, here's the mount that is really, really nice, and it's not on the store. I mean, they've done that with some stuff. Like the Searing Spelltome is really, really good. The Wandering Ancient was really, really nice. Stuff like that. But they just need to go, here's a really, really, really... you know what? No. They don't need to put a nice mount not in the store. You know what they need to do? They need to put a shit mount on the store.
Oh.
I think that's where people... Because that's what's missing. Because obviously the mounts that are in the store, like, or the mounts that are in Gamer, they maybe not as unique because they're just kind of based on what the game is. So that you get that kind of fresh factor of, oh, this is from an external inspiration. Obviously, Wenlo being the tiger, the water stuff. It's like, okay, that's really interesting. But I think what will really convince people, or it won't convince anybody at this point, but what might help convince people is, yeah, the mount in the store is shit and the mount in the game is better. There you go. Are you happy now? I think that's probably, like, as cynical as that sounds, that's probably the move they have to make.
Yeah. I mean, we got to give Asmongold's saliva glands a rest.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean...
Yeah.
He's a spitter, not a quitter.
Yep.
Okay, I guess I went there. Whatever, fuck it. You know, the whole /spit thing, which... actually, no. Blizzard already saved Zach's salivary glands by removing the /spit emote in World of Warcraft, so I suppose that problem is solved. Yeah. It's a cool amount. It's in the store. What a surprise. Really nice. Do you know what would be shocking, Matt? Do you know what would absolutely just fucking butter my biscuit? This was in-game as a part of a revamped Lunar Festival.
Yeah, that's...
Could you
yeah.
Could you imagine? I don't know. Hello, cameras. Look in between them. Could you, dear camera, and everyone imagine, if an event came along and had a new thing in it,
I can't imagine that.
and that was an exciting reason to play the game, maybe if that event got some sort of content update or new thing to do.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be funny? Anyway, as it stands, yeah, of course, this happens like clockwork every single Chinese New Year.
Yep. I guess that's the thing. No one's surprised. It's just, there's another store mount that's nicer than what the majority of players have access to.
When was the most recent 6-month mount? Because I know that the cat was saying, hey, this is a cat. You like cats.
6 months.
If
Sky Blazer.
That's
or no,
it.
yeah, cat, Sky Blazer, and the pig.
I love the public positioning of the cat mount. It is so genius because everyone who's interested in a store mount and also really likes cats is going to be on the 6-month sub for the other mounts.
Yeah.
Therefore, they're definitely going to buy the cat mount. Like,
for sure.
Fair play, Blizz. Fair play. You fuckers know how to get them, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, so look, there's... Insert boilerplate opinion here. You know what we think, right? It's a pretty mount. Artists did great. And, it is the case that the more sort of unique or whatever amounts, often end up being in the store. 9.2, in good fairness to it, actually does have loads of nice mounts. Stuff like that. But it obviously it then runs into the thing of I've been playing Guild Wars 2 lately, therefore I have basically zero interest in what a World of Warcraft mount could offer me now. But that said, I don't have great interest in collecting mount skins in Guild Wars 2 because, as per YouTuber whose video I watched, but name I've forgotten, for his video, 97% of the skins for the mounts, and Guild Wars 2 divides its mounts into families. They all have this, every family has its own unique mechanical functionality, control style, all that. Yeah. All the skins for those are basically in the gem store. Now, you can turn your gold into gems, and they basically designed the game around people doing that. But, so basically there's really no MMO that's going to be ultra successfully trying to... Yeah, I mean, look, I obviously have the 6-month sub, so I already own Wenlo, so they've got me. Didn't do it on purpose, but... Yeah. I guess it's a bit weird, because the other way people are going to say is, well, this means that for the most dedicated people who are on the 6-month sub anyway, they'll just get a free mount. It's like, yeah, sure, but what about our quantity of game per 6-month sub? I mean, my quantity of mount for included in my sub, that's soaring. But my quantity of video game content per 6-month sub, that's the problem.
Yeah, I guess it's the positioning of just, hey, this is now. Also, we have a patch coming up, right? You love World of Warcraft. You might as well, you're going to give us a tenner for it anyway, $15. Might as well get 6 months. You'll get all of this cool stuff. I wonder if they'll roll another Hearthstone promotion into it.
That would make sense.
Yeah, because that finished up in December, I think. So it's about time for them to go, oh, hey, it's February, and, we're releasing a Hearthstone expansion. You want to play that too, because you love Blizzard games. You love the games. Maybe you don't love us, but you'll give us your money anyway. Yeah. Go on ahead, get all these cards, and then you'll have a vast, how do I put this? A vast pan-Blizzard experience. All for the low price of £52 or $60, $70, whatever it is.
Yeah. And did you know, Matt, though, that nothing says home cooking like Goblin Gumbo?
Oh, yeah, man.
Wow.
I bet the Goblins really...
They're going to sell millions of this. Also, the Spectral Tiger! All right, so in addition to Wenlo, the River's Edge, and the Goblin Gumbo Kettle, which, being real, is what we're really all here for, as part of the 6-month subscription bundle, the Chinese region will also be able to get the Swift Spectral fucking Tiger. Here it is. Oh dear. There's some audio. And that is straight up
That's it.
The original mildly fungible mount himself, the Spectral Tiger. Now,
fungible is like as being like a gradated thing is funny to me.
Now, what's really fun, is this isn't included in the 6-month bundle. It's actually part of a separate, more expensive bundle that costs 1,688 yuan, isn't it? Which is 197 British pounds, or 267 United States dollars.
And we think we have it bad. God damn.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, of course, the exact same bundle without the Spectral Tiger is only 36 quid. Yeah. They're doing it. They're selling the Spectral Tiger for £161, $218. Would you like to pay $218 for this? Now, here's the thing. WoW China, totally different. Ran by netties. Right? So different Saka, I don't know, situations, whatever. But a lot of people have said, this is fine because it's different to Western WoW. This is fine because the trading card game was never available in China. In that case, why is it priced at £161? It's using the fact that this is a legendary, well-known, scarce item, which means that people's perceived value of it will be, going up, and they're using that to sell for that amount of money, which is a lot of money. If this was not such a rare mount, it would not be, they wouldn't be making this much from these people. And, that's obviously something they're leveraging to increase the revenue. Yep. So that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess NetEase must have had a bad quarter or something. There must be something like that, because that is like, I mean, maybe it's also riding the wave of NFTs where people are a little like thinking a little bit more about the value of items that are, digital scarcity and stuff like that. And it's just, I mean, I think it's just deplorable, honestly. I think it's just not a reasonable thing to do in any capacity.
Fuck 'em, like.
It's
Bunch of pricks.
Yeah, it's so
it
bad.
is.
So bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just deciding to get weird with it rather than get angry at this stage. I mean, hey, TGC mounts. Oh, they could do this again.
Yeah.
With NFTs. So fucking easy, dude. Think about how close, right? Because the original trading card game mounts, they're that expensive because they have scarcity. And while the mount that you get isn't unique, you know what I mean.
You know what I mean. Haha.
So it's probably a good thing then that Phil Spencer has indicated, suspicion and indicated awareness to these things. Because I'll tell you, if big Yves Guillemont or Yves Guillemot?
Guillemot. I think it's Guillemot.
Guillemot. Yves is the CEO of Ubisoft. And there's only one thing that gets him Ubi hard. That's NFTs. I'm very sorry, dude. So he...
How have I never heard that joke before? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Bam.
Yeah.
Spitting fire tonight. Yeah, so if this was Ubisoft, dude, this shit would be NFTs.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah.
Like, they're going to give you fucking NFT bandanas in the Ghost Recon game.
I mean, I'm gonna, this is a thing where, like, I don't like doing this because it's always, well, someone has it worse than you, so you should be okay. That's not what I mean, but at least this isn't Ubisoft. Because they came out today, and I can't remember what context it was an interview or something, but they had the whole Ubisoft Quartz thing about NFTs, and they literally came out, it was either yesterday or today, and said, gamers just don't get it. NFTs are great. We love them.
Sure,
gamers just don't get it yet. Maybe they'll get it someday, but they're great.
They're right and wrong.
That's
the annoying thing. They're right and they're wrong. The whole, like, Ghost Recon is going to turn Earth into a scorching fireball. Yeah. They're on a proof of stake chain, not a proof of work chain. So, the environmental concern's really not there. I mean, okay, if you have an environmental concern with Ubisoft Quartz, you should definitely stop using Netflix and stuff to stream video. I think it's just the whole thing that they need to get into. And some people will love this, right? Because there's some people who want to play those money games. I forget. It's one of them. It's called Entropia Universe or something. The people who play the games like that. Or Second Life, where, they actually want to make money. I mean, what is Second Life just like, I don't know, furries and kink people and stuff these days?
I imagine
it used to be really big, and the only times I see it are YouTubers who are going in to investigate, to find a few embarrassing people so that they can, make a laughing at the furries video, or content. Find some of the kinky people in their Second Life dungeon. But I know people were really into trying to make money off Second Life.
Yeah,
and I mean, if you told Kid Me, like, hey, no, it wasn't even Kid Me. I remember looking at strategies being like, well, how can I make enough money to, like, buy a PS3 from Diablo? Of course I was going to do that as a kid who doesn't have a job. So they're totally trying to get on that bit. And they're kind of being like, no, gamers, you don't understand. The game, you can work the fields in the game. We will be the corporate overlord of your spare free time. And you'll be happy because you can make some money selling bandanas you've grinded in Rainbow Six. So it's weird. Yeah, some people are going to see the value in that.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't that everything that the Square Enix CEO was talking about?
Yeah, and do you know what's
CEO president? But yeah,
just totally fucked. It's totally fucked. And because this is totally fucked because it's true.
Besides everything?
Besides everything. Yeah. This one's like super fucked. So, those mobile games where the best example is Archero? Because it has the veneer of gameplay, but then they basically use tuning. The way that the game is tuned means it may as well be an idle clicker. You just have to do a very mild bullet hell while it does its idle clicking. Yep. Here's the thing. And because you've played Archero as well.
Yes.
And you would agree that if Archero was just a game that you played, people wouldn't stick with it. It's the fact that they have made a, this will envelop what your brain is doing. Basically, hey, executive function, be stuck on your phone. So just because it will do that, it'll do that, but then because it has this stupid loop that is completely designed so that at some point you have to buy gems. If it wasn't for the grindy bullshit, people play that game for 2 minutes and uninstall it. Because this shit actually works in human psychology, and of course, that is all what you have been researching lately.
Yeah, that's the fun thing where, I haven't done a whole bunch of research into like the long-term effectiveness of that stuff on keeping people engaged, but because obviously I think we see proof in the games industry that shit just works. It works, and the part that I'm more focused on and what I'm looking at is how it completely tanks anyone's ability to have fun or to want to play the game for any reason that's anything related to fun. I mean, this is, basically spoilers for upcoming videos. Multiple videos, likely one looking at World of Warcraft in specificity, and another one that's next week, TM, on overall MMO experience.
The series is tentatively called Matt Takes Game Designers Out the Back and shoots them all.
Yeah, basically. Effectively, all of these tactics work really well, but they completely psychologically destroy your ability to have fun. I mean, that's actually, I guess, a decent testing ground. I couldn't be bothered setting up a poll, but like, when's the last time you logged into a game purely for fun and didn't have some little inkling at the back of your head go, I'll get some levels, or, I'll get an achievement today. Maybe I'll go, because I mean, I'm guilty of the same. The last maybe 7 times I've logged into FF, it's been, I'll get my daily done, or I'll get my weekly done, or I'll get some levels on Black Mage, something like that. And you're like, that shit hijacks all of everything until you don't have fun.
Yeah.
And you stop having fun.
Yeah, good. Well, the nice thing is somebody has already clipped, he's a spitter, not a quitter.
Nice, good.
For Asmongold. So, sweet. I mean, he still plays WoW.
Yep.
No, he had until a point. He might not anymore. Very good. Anyway, so yeah, man, there you go. That series is going to be fun.
Yep,
it's going to be really fun. It's probably going to be a bit existential for everyone involved.
Oh yeah,
from whoever records it to you writing it, us talking about it here. It's going to be existential for all you. And God forbid any game designers run into or tumble their way into that one.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think actually, does it come down to something? And this might be a weird opinion, but actually, should gaming grow at a rate faster than the population? And if gaming is growing off the back of psychologically manipulative bullshit that untrains intrinsic desire, is it actually bad for humanity that gaming grows if it grows off the back of the sorts of tactics that get used?
So I can't say definitively if it's bad for humanity, but I can say that everyone who plays video games and gets psychologically addicted to reward loops is substantially less likely to have intrinsic motivation and intrinsic fun, which ultimately destroys satisfaction in life. Because you're I mean, obviously Healthy Gamer is fucking exceptional, and anyone who doesn't know what Healthy Gamer is, absolutely look it up. There's incredible stuff. I'm actually surprised because I looked for it to see when I was doing my research. I don't think he's really super went into like motivation in terms of like the extrinsic reward system and the over justification effect. I think he has in different areas, primarily focused other places.
I know he did one on executive function and how gaming can have a really negative impact on people's executive function from like a brain level.
Yep.
Which basically is to say, executive function is like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
What am I doing with my friggin', I'm going to pick this up, I'm going to do that, I'm going to go do this task. And it's just always having the option of
bing, bing, wahoo.
Bing, bing, wahoo, wee, swipe, woo.
Yeah.
Doing that basically means, your brain could deal with a little bit of quiet and the terrifying prospect of having thoughts or planning actions.
Yeah.
Or,
terrifying.
Boom, you can just have your executive function be completely drowned out by white noise in mobile games or or things like that. Actually, Scott Williams here says, surely those sorts of game tactics would decrease serotonin and dopamine levels over time. You know what? I'd be interested in. I mean, I don't think that's being looked into.
No, I don't think so. I think, yeah, you do kind of burn yourself out. I mean, that's a whole thing people are talking about right now, about, dopamine detox, because you're training yourself on more and more and more. And those receptors become the same way. I think it's roughly the same, because I don't know shit about neuroscience or a lot of biology. But
detox thing, like, I know that some of that is just like, oh, good, I'm wearing a black t-shirt. So you know those people they all have a black t-shirt. Mm-hmm. They have one black t-shirt and one set of black pants, and they all do minimalism videos that all look the same. Mm-hmm. I know there's loads of those who, they talk about the dopamine detoxes, and I've seen people say, hey, that is rather suspect.
Yeah.
But anyone who does something kind of knows you can only do it so much to get the same thing out of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's people, let's just say you have 2 drinks in a night out. Mm. There's very few people are going to only ever have 2 drinks in a night out. Yep. And I think if the frequency of the nights out continues, you'd probably see the average alcohol consumption per night increase over time. Yeah. So maybe you're getting less of the positive effect, if you could even call it that. I'm sure it goes for many other substances and things people put in themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if science backs up for dopamine specifically, but I think we see that in everything. I mean, you see it in caffeine as an example, where, your caffeine receptors are shot when you drink too much caffeine, and then, one cup of coffee doesn't get you up in the morning anymore. So now you're on to 2, now you're on to 3. How does it stop? A detox. As to whether the neuroscience and the biology lines up for that, for dopamine, definitely I wouldn't say anything on it, but the psychology of it completely lines up. We're like, I mean, you can feel it yourself. If you don't play video games for like a weekend, and then on Monday you get up, you're like, yeah, I guess I'll do the laundry. You're like, wait, it happens so quick too. It's wild.
Yeah, so it's an interesting thing. I don't know. Self-awareness. Whew.
Yep.
It's pretty great. And then you think.
Yeah.
And then you go back to your Bing Bing Wahoo game because it's too scary outside.
Yep. So, I guess just slightly before we move on, just some advice, because I don't want to just be pure doom and gloom. I'd be like, if games are fucking, then they're destroying your brain. They definitely are. But there's a couple of different psychological or behavioral psychology theories, like self-determination theory and self-perception theory. Basically, you can completely regain control of your brain by intentionally doing things for fun and intentionally doing things with intentionality, instead of letting your conscious mind go, oh yeah, I'll do this for the daily. You go, no, fuck you, I'm playing this game for fun. I'll do my daily while I'm here, but I'm thinking about it and I'm doing it for fun. I literally had that experience in World of Warcraft the other day.
Shocking.
Where I did a heroic dungeon as a boomkin, and I had fun, even though I was doing it to finish 2 callings at once. I was like, usually this is just a chore. Usually I'm just like, fuck it, this is bullshit, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
But this time I went, no, I'm thinking about this. I'm going to try to have fun. And I had a little bit more fun.
Whenever you told me about this, I instantly shat myself and fainted.
Oh, you didn't believe me at all?
No, I mean, it totally fits.
Yeah.
Totally fits and makes sense. It's a pity that the reward systems of WoW kind of... But also, this isn't just specifically a World of Warcraft developer problem, actually.
Not at all.
This is a everyone problem. I actually think that the one MMO that's probably fallen foul of this thing that impacts the most is probably Guild Wars 2, because it doesn't have a super clear Bing Bing... I mean, it has many Bing Bing Wahoo tracks. Jesus Christ, it is an utter achievement point bukkake when you start that game. It's like, oh, you look to the left, wee! It does a whole bunch of that. Yeah. But because it doesn't have a lot of vertical progression to grind for, I feel like people go into it, seems to be a pretty well-designed, interesting game, and they're like, I cannot process how I am supposed to play this game because there's no vertical progression. And I think that's probably the one thing that's held Guild Wars 2 back the most.
Yeah, so I think this might be the 3rd time I've talked about this today, actually. You can tell when new information comes in, I very much like to spread it. But this was from Game Maker's Toolkit. His video, Mark Brown, is that Mark Brown? Or is that the other one?
That's Mark Brown,
yeah. He did a video on the over-justification effect, and obviously it wasn't focused on MMOs, it was more focused on other games. And he talked about Clay's experience publishing and developing Don't Starve, which is, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a survival-based sandbox with a lot of the darkness will kill you, very survival, very you need fire, you need food, you progress your crafting tree, stuff like that. But they found that people, whenever they tried to test it early, they could not, for the life of them, get testers to figure out how to play. Testers were like, what the fuck is going on? I can't understand mechanics, because they just dropped them in and went, this is the sandbox.
So the instructions might just be, don't starve.
Yeah, that's it.
You're working out.
Yeah, that's legit. Yeah, it's just straight up, don't starve. But testers couldn't figure it out at all. And then they went, well, fuck, how do we solve this? Okay, well, we're, game designers. I don't know how seasoned they were because it was fairly indie, but quests, that'll do it. That's how games work. You get quests. So we'll give people a list of quests, and they'll do the quests, and those quests will tutorialize the experience. And this worked. People understood how to play the game. But it had the downside that once that quest list ran dry, people went, I'm done. There's nothing left to do. This game is now over. And that meant that they had an awful decision on their hands, which is either make an infinite quest list. Maybe they could have made an algorithmically generated one, perhaps. Ooh. Maybe they could have, randomized it. Or solve the problem of this thing of people not enjoying the sandbox. And they figured, okay, well, we'll try to solve the sandbox problem then. And after a lot of tweaking, they came to the ultimate conclusion, which shipped in the game, which is subtle hints in your crafting menu as to what to go towards next.
Yeah.
So not craft a crafting table, 0 out of 1. But it was, there's wood nearby. There's, I can't even remember half the mechanics of that game, but there's berries nearby and stuff like that. It's like, okay, so you open the menu and it goes, try a fire. So you get a fire, try a crafting table. And it linked people in very, very gently. And then they were like, oh, they found that testers were enjoying the sandbox because they knew that there was no goal. So they made their own goal once they understood the mechanics, which you see it in Minecraft as well, where they've expanded their audience by making the game more having a linear point to it, as opposed to be more sandboxy. But that could ultimately hurt people who are enjoying it for the sandbox. But the audience is so big, likely not at this point. They've likely capped the sandboxy audience. But that's I thought that was very, very interesting, especially when you think about MMOs becoming less sandboxy over time. And vanilla World of Warcraft's solution, because Colin was actually talking about this earlier today, vanilla World of Warcraft in its development, they couldn't really figure out how to get people to go to zones or how to handle zones, so they put in breadcrumb quests. And then you track that forward, and we're no longer getting breadcrumb quests to areas, we're getting tightly designed quest flow from area to area, and then you're going into almost like microcosms of mini zones that have 5 quests in them.
There's something to be said for over design.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's if you over-design so much, it's okay, now the bowling ball's just going down this tiny little chute, instead of going down its thing. But that's then kind of tricky because, if you want to have obviously a big, friggin' big cummy narrative moment of, boom, sploosh, everyone's very excited and somebody just said, Maw Walker or pitiful mortal or other such engaging dialogue. It's hard to do that in a big sandbox.
Yeah.
But it did mean that times such as questing with Bolvar in Wrath were oh, wow, I'm being taken into a different little experience. Yeah. So it was able to create those sort of peaks and valleys in the overall, pacing of the experience. So it's sort of tricky then, because obviously MMOs like FF14, which is just, this is your MSQ, away you go.
Yep.
To the point where, it's FF14 doesn't even have zone design as it pertains to quests as much in the way that Warcraft does. Whereas Warcraft will be here's a tightly designed gameplay space. It has these 5 quests. This is how we expect you to play it. Whereas FF is a lot more, here's a cool zone evocative of a theme. You like being there. Go there, talk to dude. Go there to, it's way more traditional and sort of stripped back. Yep. So it's kind of interesting. And I think you see a thing where the more sandboxy something is, obviously this is different for the sort of games as toys and the more literal sandbox games like Minecraft, Roblox, etc. At least in the MMO space. EVE Online, super sandboxy. Can they grow that game? No.
Not at all.
No, Eve has its audience.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very telling that the This Is Eve trailer in 2014 made their their fresh trials just went Nyum, and how many of them stayed? Barely, not many. Yep. But it's had a sticky audience because they're in there for the sandbox.
Yeah, because the intrinsic motivation is keeping them there way harder than any extrinsic could.
Yeah. Yep. And bam.
Yeah.
Kind of here we are in this funky situation. I think people, you can kind of look back to some older things in WoW, some older WoW zones and stuff, and you kind of think like, whoa, that was, like maybe more evocative, or I remember being there. And I guess it's because that zone was less tightly designed. It was, in fact, less designed, which meant that you were just wandering about more. And maybe because you were younger and didn't know better, one of those, because you were younger, didn't know better, because you hadn't been as addled by, you must hit max level because then, you need to do this thing in this week because you got to get, you got to do the Mythic Plus, the Mythic Zero World Tour in your first week to get the Great Vault and wahoo happy. Yep. Because people's brains are just being like, bam, 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 bam. I must go through this zone. And then the developers are like, okay, all of our players, they want to go through our zones. Right, so we got to super design all of the gameplay all the time. And then, suddenly get to a zone like Ardenweald where, to me, it's barely even evocative of Forest anymore because it's all just hyper, obviously a Forest is dense, but you know what I mean? It's like, it feels like such a connection of gameplay spaces that it's no longer a zone.
Yeah, because of
this. It's weird.
Because nothing exists for no reason. Everything exists for a gameplay design reason, for a tick the box reason, as opposed to existing in a way that's, actually interesting. Yeah. And some of this is like, can you solve it? Yes. Will your player base fucking disappear? Also yes. Because it's like it's not a game problem, it's a gamer problem, it's a gaming problem. Yeah. Because, this is interesting. It's something that just came to me while you were talking because one of the things that, especially people our age, people a couple years younger and they're mid-20s, people in obviously people in their 30s will completely understand this, but there was a marked change in how games felt for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And one of what I'm going to theorize is a problem. I think this isn't a new thought. People have been talking about this for years now, but achievements and trophies. There was a time when that engagement started in the 7th console generation. It happened around the same time in World of Warcraft in 2000 and was it 8 or 9? It was Wrath, so it was 8 or 9, I think. Can't remember if that was a launch or not. But achievements and trophies come in. Then people stopped playing the game to do whatever they wanted, and people had lists of things to do. And then so behavioral psychology says when you're finished with a list, you'll not do anymore. And obviously, comparing MMOs, FF14 is very much still a victim of this. It just has a very long list of things to do. Yeah. So people hang around for longer, and then when they're finished their list, they're like, okay, well, that was longer than I expected. But it still has that problem. Whereas the earliest days of MMOs, it didn't really have that problem. At least not as much. They still had, but goals are more self-set at that point.
Yeah. Well, a thank you to Ben McNamara, as was joined as a member. Also said, I forced myself to play MMOs for fun a few months ago, and it's world-changing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just that weird thing of if you're just able to say, oh, I would just want to go do the Brawlers Guild, there's a very high chance that'll be the most fun you'll have had in World of Warcraft in that year. Where is it?
Yep.
They forgot the Brawlers Guild!
Yep.
Or playing, Kaleki's thing.
The Bastion.
The Bastion.
Bastion fight hole.
Yes,
I completely forgot what it's called.
The Path of Ascension is the
Path
thing
of Ascension,
where,
that's what it's called.
because I believe he didn't finish it. I think he got halfway through, and it's really weird. It's your experience of that was okay, so when you pare back all of the annoying bullshit, the actual experience feels designed and good.
Yes.
So it's if you just set that goal for yourself, it probably would be fun. Yep. That said, I have no idea how many Myers of silliness or how many layers of silliness or whatever they had to put it in, or all the balance concerns and all that. So
yep, for sure.
My point now ends because we're not going to get into a discussion about the Path of Ascension.
No, or also we definitely tore the ass out of that one, but yes.
We sure did. It has no more ass.